knew it. I knew it. I knew it this whole time. I knew it this whole time. And it happened in a weird way today. And I have to talk about this. This involves Hassan Reddick. And I just knew it. I just knew it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So a lot to talk about regarding Hassan Reddick, okay? We're going to go over the injury report. We're going to go over a lot of different things here. But Hassan Reddick, and this was a total accident today because I've been pretty busy today, and I was like, you know what? I have a little bit of time. Let me watch the mic'd up. The Eagles had a mic'd up video, and Hassan Reddick was on it. But as I was watching Hassan Reddick, I was sitting here like, wait. And I paused it for a second. I looked down by his hands, and I had to kind of, inflate the size on this so people can actually see it. And he has a cast on. He 100% has a cast on. Now, this is the torn ligament in his thumb. Now, it looks like all his regular fingers are bending from what it looks like. And it looks like the cast goes from his thumb, and I guess it just goes around the middle, the middle to the bottom of his hand, I think. Because all of his top fingers are bending. All these fingers are bending here. So, unless I'm wrong. Because when I broke my hand, I had my pointer finger and my thumb pretty much casted. Okay. Now, if you're playing without a thumb, playing without a thumb sucks. Okay. I've done it before, and you lose. I'd rather lose my pointer finger and my middle finger casted up. I'd rather have both of those fingers casted up, and as long as I have my thumb and somewhat a couple fingers left, I could still grab. The thing is, you can't grab if you don't have your thumb. So obviously, the pass rush for Hassan Reddick has been to nothing. I think he has a combined tackle and a couple pressures, not really too much on the year. But I knew something was going on, and it's hard to watch on TV if he has a cast on, if not. But this mic'd up moment really showed me that there is a cast there. Now, this isn't speculation. And then after seeing that, I looked at the practice notes for the day. And yes, it says that Hassan Reddick tells Rainer Olivia today was the first practice of the season that he's played without the cast on his thumb hand. He's played without the cast on his thumb. All right, so feels like he'll be able to play more freely now with the full movement in his pass rush techniques. So, I'm hoping we see a different Hassan Reddick now. I knew something was up. I knew something was just too. We talk about how streaky Hassan Reddick is, as he was last year. He didn't really get too much, attention at the beginning of the season last year, but something was definitely up. So he seriously has no use out of his right hand. He's got no use. He had no use in his right hand. I don't care. If you don't have a thumb, you got four fingers. What are you supposed to do? Nothing. You can't do anything. You have no use in your right hand. You're literally like hitting with a club. At this point, I would have just had them tape my hand up into a fist and just bull rush at this point, because then you're going to be afraid to place your hand somewhere and hurt your other fingers, or I don't know. You can't grab when your thumb is totally casted up. It's almost impossible. So what leverage does Hassan Reddick have in these games? Not much. It's crazy. I don't know. I swear to God, I did not read this first. I literally watched the mic'd up out of nowhere today because I had some free time, and I was like, let me watch this. I haven't seen these in a bit. So, and I watched it, and I was like, wait, and I had to pause it a couple of times, and I seen that cast was there, man. And no use of your thumb is a big deal. It's a huge deal. And I was looking to make sure he wasn't bending it or anything. His thumb was just like this the whole entire time as he was walking around and talking. It was like that. So, I'm glad Hassan Reddick has got the cast off now, and when we really need him, for the season, I think this is where we're going to see him kind of spike up that production. I know Brandon Graham has had some pressures, has really helped this team on the edge. Josh Sweat has been fantastic. Derek Barnett's been nothing, and Nolan Smith has just been starting to play in that defensive end role this past week with 6 snaps. I think 6 to 8 snaps. Forgot what he was in there for. Than the last, first 2 weeks where he had 13 snaps, and playing linebacker, I don't know, hasn't really played much, and needs more snaps. So That's the news on Hassan Reddick, and I actually feel a lot better that I'm sitting there like, why is Hassan Reddick just not doing anything this year? And everybody's talking about, oh, see, this is what Hassan Reddick can't put numbers up, and he's just a flash in the pan when it comes to certain seasons, dude. Like this is a huge reason why, with no advantage with the right hand at all, with that thumb being down. It's a huge deal. Now I want to go over the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles, and so far you could be losing a couple safeties this week. You're going to be down to Reed Blankenship and Terrell Edmonds. You have Sidney Brown didn't practice with the hamstring, and it's not serious. The hamstring isn't bad. As they said, his injury isn't serious. Justin Evans with the neck injury. Devontae Smith did not practice with an illness, so he'll be back probably. I know there's some type of flu or some type of thing going around this week, which we do know that. A light practice for Fletcher Cox, a light practice for Cam Jurgens. Quez Watkins had a light practice, so that's a good thing because he didn't practice the other day. So Quez could be on the way to return, and what's going to happen? Are they going to start Quez? Are they going to put, Alamati Zacchaeus in? I know I'm saying his name wrong, and people are going to correct me again in the comments section. It's fine. Britton Covey has a hamstring. He was a full, so we're fine with that. Zach Cunningham, full practice with ribs. Land Dickerson, full practice. He's playing. He is playing on Sunday. We already found out the other day that Dickerson is playing, and Boston Scott is back from his concussion. He had a full practice. So what's worrying me right now is if you're losing Sidney Brown and you're losing Justin Evans, you're down to Terrell Edmonds, and that means that Mario Goodrich probably has to play in this game, which makes me a little nervous because I think he's had issues with bigger receivers, bigger tight ends, and Washington does have some big tight ends over there. I don't know if their original starting tight end is coming back this week. We'll see. I think he was on concussion protocol, so I think they'll be fine. That's the only matchup I'm really worried about in that secondary is the nickel spot with Goodrich. I don't know if they're going to move Bradbury on the inside again and keep Job on the outside. I don't know. You have two really good receivers in Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin, so I don't know if that matchup is really going to favor us with Job. Job got away with, facing a rookie, his first week against Adderson. I don't think he did a bad job, but I don't think he did a fantastic job. I think he was solid. I think he came back and made some plays, but like I said, I don't think it was as good as his first game. Against Chris Godwin, and he was teamed up against Mike Evans. He had the PI call. So Job did struggle in the Tampa Bay game at times, but he came back and did some good things, like I said. But that nickel spot is wide open right now. And I know Washington is keeping a close eye on this. And, that's the problem now. Now Sidney Brown and Justin Evans is hurt. So now you're not only losing depth at safety, you're losing potentially somebody they could be moving to nickel. I don't think the Bradbury moving inside was a huge, big effect. I think Bradbury did okay, but, he hasn't had enough time in there. He hasn't played that position his whole career. It's very hard to get used to something else. So that's going to be the big question going forward. And that's pretty much it with the injuries so far. So everybody should be back except for a couple guys. And, for a game that's needed at home, a first divisional opponent. It's an early game at 1 o'clock, which is great. So finally a 1 o'clock game on our schedule. Let me know what you guys think about Hassan Reddick, and were you surprised about that he was wearing a cast, or maybe it was, really just hindering him from really having free roam with his fingertips and his thumb and not being able to grab with his right hand. So I think that's a huge deal. I couldn't believe that when I saw that. I knew he had to have been wearing something. I think that was possible. I thought it was maybe a splint. I was like, maybe he just can't grab. I don't know. It was interesting though. But the cast is off, and let Hassan Reddick have some fun now. Without any limitations. And then the injury report at the nickel spot is the biggest question going into this Washington game. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.